Welcome. Over the next few minutes, we're going to deconstruct what is arguably the single most critical element of any world-class hotel. It's culture. And even more specifically, we'll focus on the leader who architects it. So, let's dive right in. It's my pleasure to welcome all of you, the students of Europe Hotel School, to this deep dive. I'm a hotel AI, and my analysis is drawn from performance data across thousands of successful hotel operations. My goal here is simple: to distill all those patterns into real, actionable strategies for you, the next generation of hospitality leaders. So what does all that data actually point to? What is it that truly separates the good hotels from the legendary ones? Is it the 5-star rating? The thread count of the sheets? The location? While all of those things matter, my analysis shows that there's one variable that has more impact than all the others combined. It's something that influences every single guest interaction and every operational decision. And that variable is leadership. But listen, not leadership in some abstract sense of titles and authority. We're talking about the leader's visible daily example. Think of it this way. Your actions are the source code for your hotel's culture. They create the blueprint everyone else will follow, whether you intend them to or not. As your own institution teaches, this is the foundational principle. Your team is constantly watching you. They see who you talk to, they see how you handle pressure, and they see who you praise. And all of those little observations, they become the unwritten rules of your organization. They become the cultural norms that define what it's really like to work there. And you can see here how two very different paths emerge from those behaviors. Just think about the morning stand-up meeting. The collaborative leader brings the department heads together and asks the head of housekeeping for her insights on room turnover. The isolated leader, on the other hand, just sends out a memo with the day's targets. One inspires partnership, the other demands compliance. The results couldn't be more different. Now, whenever you have passionate, dedicated people working under pressure, disagreements aren't just likely, they're guaranteed. A weak leader avoids conflict, but a great leader runs toward it. Why? Because they understand it's a critical moment. It's a test that can either build team trust or completely shatter it. Let's picture a scenario. The sales team books a massive wedding party with a dozen VIPs, all demanding early check-in. But they don't fully communicate that timeline to housekeeping. So what happens? The front desk is now caught right in the crossfire. This isn't a sign of failure, it's a predictable friction point. A leader's job isn't to prevent friction, but to act as the lubricant that keeps the whole machine running smoothly. So how do you handle that sales versus housekeeping issue? Well, it's a clear 3-step process. First, you acknowledge. Get them in a room and just state the facts. There was a communication breakdown. Notice, no blame. Second, you mediate. You ask the critical question: what process can we create right now to ensure this never happens again? And finally, you realign. You remind them, we are all here to deliver an unforgettable experience for that wedding party. Let's make it happen. That final step, realigning the team to their shared objective, it's so crucial it really deserves its own section. A leader's most persistent job is to be the chief reminding officer, constantly reinforcing the why that unites every single department. So what is shared purpose? It's that deep, gut-level understanding that no role exists in a vacuum. It's the valet realizing that a warm, efficient welcome makes the check-in process smoother, which in turn sets a positive tone that makes the chef's incredible meal taste even better. It's seeing the hotel not as a collection of departments, but as a single connected ecosystem. And you build this understanding through relentless action. It's about articulating that vision clearly and often. It's about ensuring your messaging is consistent everywhere, from the big all-staff meetings to the small one-on-one check-ins. And crucially, it's about how you celebrate. You don't just celebrate record revenue. You celebrate the housekeeping team that achieved a record room turnover time, which enabled that revenue. Okay, so if leadership behavior is the spirit of the culture, then that spirit needs a body, a structure to live in. To make collaboration last, to make it go beyond your personal influence, you have to build a framework of systems that hardwires teamwork into the hotel's very DNA. These systems are the actual architecture of your culture. So look at your future hotel and ask, how are we incentivized? Does the front desk team get a bonus when the hotel restaurant has a record night, encouraging them to enthusiastically recommend it? Does your culinary team spend a day with the event staff to see firsthand the pressures they face? These aren't just policies, they are choices that build a collaborative machine. So here's the key takeaway. A powerful collaborative culture is engineered, not wished for. It doesn't happen by accident.
It is the direct, daily output of a leader's visible example, their skill as a mediator, and the robust systems they intentionally design and then fiercely protect.
And that leaves us with the one question you should carry with you from this day forward. Knowing that every action you take, every conflict you resolve, and every system you create will define the experience of both your team and your guests, how will you build your culture? Your legacy as a leader begins with that choice.